This is Mark Twain, and I'm here to communicate and share with you my experience after death. I had quite an interesting, fun ride, if you want to place it to that perspective. So I died and crossed over to the dimensions. Interesting that you'd call it crossover, but it is a crossover. And these two beings approached me and they said to me, "Follow me," and I followed them, and they said to me, "Okay, right, you're going to be reincarnating into the animal kingdom again." And looked at the situation, said, okay, which animal exactly? They said, no, to your choosing, to your liking. So it's fascinating. I've always wanted to experience myself be a monkey. So I decided to reincarnate as a monkey. And to me, during that time, especially my experience in the dimensions, you kind of don't ask questions. It's interesting. Because when you cross over, you have that experience inside you that there might just be some grand design or something out there, in here, everywhere, existing, that has a plan, that is looking after everything and everyone, and there is a reason for everything and there is a purpose for everything. And so I thought, you know what, let me do that. Maybe that's my part I will play in this entire grand design manifestation of that something that exists within everything and everywhere. And I actually experienced it in the dimensions. I actually experienced myself being in the hands of that which exists. You can't help it but experience it. So you kind of, and it's so overwhelming that you just accept it. You just go, this is how it is, accept it, it's done. And so I spent a reasonable amount of time in a monkey's expression, and you don't remember much in terms of while you're actually a monkey, of course, but I do have certain memories of the experience, and it's very fascinating. It's amazing the experience of a monkey in the trees and in nature, because animals adapt to their environment. Animals are, in their experience, are so one in their expression with nature that there's no separation that exists. You know, whether you sit on a tree and touch the leaves and eat the leaves or the fruit or whatever, it's as though it's yourself. You're completely one with your entire environment, nature. But what I find strange is that it's totally the opposite with human beings. Human beings destroy that. Human beings excavate that and build places to live in, and their oneness with their environment, and especially nature, doesn't exist at all. And it's quite fascinating, because that's not the experience when you're an animal at all. And humanity is busy removing that completely, removing that part of ourselves, because, I mean, if animals are able to experience it, surely human beings are. So that would actually mean that human beings are less than the animal kingdom, inferior in their expression, because they're not living that oneness with their environment, or even realizing that oneness with their environment, with that which exists. And so it was a very, I'm very grateful that I experienced that, because that placed much for me into perspective. Because after that experience, that's when I started asking questions. That's when I said, you know, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because if I were that something that that has a purpose, that has a reason, and that is kind of in charge of this entire grand design, then I would have human beings, animals, nature exist in the same experience that I had as an animal. You know, where that part of human beings gone, where their oneness with their environment exists. You know, that when you walk amongst the trees, touch the leaves, the branches, walk barefoot on the ground and the grass, and you feel and experience that support. That is you, as you walk, or as you experience yourself. I mean, human beings don't experience that anymore. I mean, where has that gone? And you walk on foundations that have been placed by yourself, as a creation, as a design, structural, geometrical, specific. But what about the flowing expression that nature provides, that is unconditional support, already present here? So, when I died as a monkey, this little girl came up to me, this little tiny girl. She was quite cute, sweet. I had to smile when I saw her. And she said to me, you know, in this happy little girl, excited expression, she said, "Come, follow me." And I said, "We too?" And she said, "No, it's your time to rest now. You've done what you have required to do, and you may now rest and enjoy yourself." And I said, wait, then how does this fit in? Then I asked myself that question, how does this fit in with me having a purpose or a reason within this grand design of this something, or this essence that exists everywhere within everyone? And that's the same thing I asked her. I asked her, why is the reason for rest? I don't really experience myself having to rest. I mean, you know, if I'm required to reincarnate again, I'll reincarnate again. I don't have a situation with that. And she took me to this, also to this, like a galaxy of sort, to this place where I was supposed to go and rest. And, I mean, there were multiples of them. There were like cities and galaxies, multiple different ones. I mean, I could see every single one of them. And she said, "You're going to come here and rest and just enjoy and express yourself." So I said, why am I not able to do that expression here on Earth and support in that way? Why do I have to be separate from that perspective of having to go and rest? And just, why not just not experience myself here on Earth? Okay, so I will continue that question, and of course my experience in answering that question for myself. Thanks, this is Mark Twain.